Okay, so welcome to the section on voices of experience. And this week we have got fantastic experience talking to us, not just in the business, for the business part of it, and not just using the essential oils and supplements as a whole, but for her actual story as well. And there she is in the middle of us, and there's me without a beard.
The rose between two thorns.
How strange do I look without a beard? Okay, that's really weird. How are
Craig
you?
actually has a chin.
How are you, Sue? You all right?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
All right,
Good,
fantastic. So basically, what we're going to do now, I'm going to stop sharing the screen so everybody can see you.
There's Lorraine and Brian in the bottom corner.
Oh yeah, drinking a Costas. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen so everybody can see you. And to be honest with you, it's just over to you now. Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you see and hear me okay? All good, okay. First of all, can I just, well, thank you for having me on here, first of all, but can I also say that for everybody's benefit that Craig still doesn't really understand what's happening with me, so I need to put a few things straight on that. I do still have a hiatus hernia, it's not troubling me whatsoever, and it's been totally dealt with. But I'll tell you the story right from the start. Unless you've come across it, I mean, there's I now know since we've been involved in doTERRA is there's thousands upon thousands of people out there with hiatus hernias. Most people don't even know you've got one. And if you don't even know you've got one, then hey ho, no problem, and I exist now as if I don't have one. So that's brilliant. But basically what happens is a gap forms in your diaphragm so that things that should stay below your diaphragm and in your gut don't, and they come above your diaphragm. And the worst part of that is that acid comes up, and that's why people get heartburn, that's why people get acid reflux. And mine was really chronic. So I was always going to the doctors with this hiatus, not the hiatus, I didn't know I had it then, acid reflux problems, and he put me on tablets, no good. More tablets, no good. More tablets, no good. Sometimes it was okay, sometimes it didn't seem to be triggered by anything in particular. Everyone is really different, and with me, I was untypical in that when I lay down at night to go to bed, I was fine. But most people have severe problems with hiatus hernia when they go to bed. As soon as they lay down, then obviously everything comes up into where it shouldn't be, and they have a dreadful night. But for me, some reason, that didn't happen. So everybody is completely different. When they did investigate, there was a 4-inch hole in my diaphragm, so it's quite substantial. And I was on a lot of medication, and in the end they said, well, look, this level of medication is really quite dangerous. You're not going to be able to be on it long term. So we're going to need to do surgery. We don't normally like to do surgery, and they do only do it as a last resort. So 13th of, I can tell you the exact date, 10th of December 2013, I had the surgery. I was told I'll be in hospital overnight. 5 days later, I eventually came home, really poorly on the ward. And the next day, everyone said, oh, you're the one that had that. It's called a Nissen fundoplication, believe it or not, at the operation. They said, oh, you're the one that had that fundo thing. They never go home the next day. And it was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. So what they actually did in the surgery is they pulled up the top of my stomach, wrapped it around my esophagus, which therefore stopped the acid coming up at all. Brilliant. Really happy with that, but it also meant that you couldn't eat solid food. So I was on a pretty much liquid diet, but that was great because there's no more tablets and no more of this really uncomfortable. It's like you're going to die, a heart attack, whatever, really, really severe symptoms. So that was brilliant. I didn't care that I had to have a liquid diet. Anything that was liquid, that was fine. Or I really mashed it up with gravy or whatever, and that was fine. Also, I was given tablets because it would not be a good idea, they said, to be sick, because I would unravel all the good work they'd done in the surgery. So if ever I was to feel sick, fortunately I'm not a sicky person, but they said, but if ever you do feel sick, you need to take these tablets because it's going to mess up everything. Well, anyway, cut a long story short, and they said over time, it's called a wrap, the surgery, the wrap that we've done around your esophagus will gradually slip over time. It's just natural part of aging of the body, I suppose, and it should last you for 10 years. So I found myself in July last year, 2017, so just over 3 years later, back to square one. I'd attempted to be sick once, which was pretty horrendous. I'd had an awful migraine and it just made me sick. I couldn't do anything about it. And both Andy and myself were quite scared because we didn't know quite what was going to happen. But I did somehow manage to be a bit sick somehow, and that made the rap slip even more, I guess. So then I was back on the high level of medication that I'd been on in the first place. So they said, well, the only option we've got here is to do the surgery again, because you cannot take that amount of medication. And I really wasn't keen on that idea, but they said, we just have to put you on the list. There's nothing we can do. And we have to tell you it won't be as successful as the first time, but at least it will improve things. And it was at this point that a lovely lady that some of you will know, called Lisa Burke, said to me, why don't you try this peppermint oil? And I just told her to jog on. I'd tried everything peppermint on the market. I'd been to the health shops. I'd been everywhere. I had tried everything, and I'd heard so much about peppermint, as most people have, and nothing, it's just a joke. Anyway, she kept on so much that in the end I said, all right, what have I got to do just to shut you up? So she said, well, you're going to get this peppermint and you're going to put it on your finger, and then you're going to suck your finger. I said, you're joking. You want me to put that stuff in my mouth? And she said, yeah, just do it, Sue. So I did it, and I made a big fuss about it. It tastes horrible and everything. And about 10 minutes later, Andy looked at me and I looked at Andy, and I went, it's gone. And the symptoms were literally gone. And it lasted for quite a few hours. And then over the next few weeks, I took it maybe twice a day. Sometimes if I eat something that's a bit hot, or I might have a little drop of alcohol now and then, it might start to flare up a bit. So I'd have an extra drop of peppermint just on my finger, suck my finger, sorted. And to bring you right up to date now, I'm still on no medication from that day to this, not needing the surgery. Once a day, I take a little shot glass of water, and I put in there the oils that I want for my body every day. Obviously, and there's few that go in there now, obviously, but the peppermint always goes in there. That goes down the hatch in the morning, and I'm good for the day. And that's all I have, 1 drop a day. Unless I've been on having a few drinks, or unless I've drunk with a cup of tea too hot, then I might need to take a drop from, you can get the beadlets as well that you can take, but I've always got peppermint on me, and it just sorts it out immediately. So it's absolutely amazing. And I go to a lot of business networking meetings where we're expanding the business, etc., and I'm always giving out samples, and a lot of the business people at these meetings are, take the mickey about being involved in these smelly, flowery things. And when they try the samples, they are blown away. Actually, without meaning to, somebody had, just off the subject a little bit, had tried the deep blue at one of the meetings and joined with a kit and had the deep blue and passed it around the table, and now they all want deep blue. And everyone that's tried the peppermint for acid reflux just cannot believe it. So it is truly amazing, and it's really, apart from the business changing our life, more than that, it's changed my health, turned it right around. So I can take any questions or anything else that you want to know.
Well, thanks, Sue.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, I kind of know your, and thanks for putting me right. I'm not used to being put right.
Whatever, love.
Well, no,
I want to be that late.
Well, I mean, obviously, I've kind of known Andy for quite some time through the business, through the previous network, and so I kind of know, and I've always been more of a business mind than a health mind, and Leslie's kind of more of a health conscious because of her background in health. So for me, it's kind of a big turnaround. Like you said, it's not just about the business, it's about the health, and there's so many stories out there, and when have a story so close to home when people and how it's affected their lives is amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Right. So what I'm going to say, we're going to stop recording now so we can take questions.